The devices that keep offenders in check. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Raney, the mother of Dr. Kenley Raney, and welcome to DUI Shatters Lives, Myth versus Reality, the channel where we expose the real impact of drunk driving and how our justice system monitors offenders after they're caught. If you ever wondered what happens when a drunk driver is arrested, which could be months or years later, or how they're supposed to stay sober once they're released, this video is for you. Today we're talking about DUI offender monitoring, the technology that's meant to keep repeat offenders in check. But here's the question. Victims always ask me, who really pays for it? And what happens when, after someone is arrested for DUI, the story doesn't end with jail time or fines? Each state handles it differently, but most judges now utilize monitoring technology to ensure offenders remain sober and compliant. It sounds like progress, and in some ways it is. But like everything in this system, there's more to the story. The offender knows how to circumvent the law and rarely complies. Typically, not enough probation officers, and DUI fatalities are not considered the same as other murders. These are the technologies that hold offenders accountable. These devices protect the public and prove sobriety is possible only through accountability. We have the SCRAM bracelet, SCRAM bracelet, tracks alcohol 24/7 through the skin sweat. We have the ignition interlock devices, the IID, which is a vehicle won't start if alcohol is detected. Also, a remote breathalyzer portable test with GPS and photo proof. We have a GPS anklet, monitors movement and enforces curfews. We have house arrest unit, confirms offender stays at home. We have an alcohol patch that detects alcohol through skin over several days. Now let's talk about the ignition interlock device. A lifesaver or a loophole. One of the most common tools is this device. It's basically a personal breathalyzer built into the car. Before the driver can start the car or the engine, they must blow into it. If there's alcohol in their system, the car won't start. If every car had one, think of how many lives could be saved. Victims and advocates have been fighting for that for years. Yet how does it stop someone else from blowing into it? Here's the catch. Who's really blowing? Originally, offenders could get around the system by asking someone else, a sober friend or family member, to do it. And that's why states began requiring photo verification or video capture as part of the ignition interlock system. Judges usually order this device for repeat offenders or those with very high BAC levels. It's designed to prevent drunk driving, not just punish it. But here's what many people don't realize. The offender pays for it. And when they can't, you do, the taxpayers. Installation costs range from $70 to $150, and monthly fees, approximately $60 to $100 if it's required for a year. That adds up fast. And if the offender cannot afford it, the court may cover the cost, shifting again the burden from the criminal to the community. The offender keeps their car. The victim, they've already lost everything. Next up is electronic home monitoring. also known as house arrest. Instead of sitting in a jail cell, offenders wear a GPS ankle monitor that tracks their every move. They're supposed to stay home, except for work, rehabilitation, or medical appointments. Any detour can mean a violation, but again, enforcement depends on manpower technology and follow-through. For many offenders, this is a second chance, third chance to stay in the community. But for victims, it is another reminder that justice often comes with comfort, not consequences. Let me share something personal with you, because this part hits home. When the man who killed my son, Dennis Rodriguez Abeyta Jr., was finally charged after 2 years, I believed the system would at least keep him monitored. That's what probation and pretrial supervision are supposed to do. Protect the public and make sure offenders follow the law while they await justice. But that's not what happened. Probation officers today are buried under impossible caseloads, some handling hundreds of offenders at once. Many departments are short-staffed after budget cuts and layoffs. And when that happens, cases like drunk driving fatalities fall to the bottom of the list. They tell you it's because drinking isn't as dangerous as a gun, a knife, or a fist. But I can tell you, alcohol kills. It killed my son Kenley, my only son. Dennis was never monitored. Not once. And when he disappeared, instead of facing consequences, he was rewarded, given another bond, this time a PR bond, meaning he didn't have to pay a dime to walk free. He didn't check in. He didn't follow the rules, and yet no one seemed to care. The system treated him like he was harmless, while my son was gone forever and in a grave. That's what victims are up against. A system that minimizes drunk driving deaths, calling them accidents instead of crimes, and treating offenders like they just made a bad choice instead of a deadly one. Remote check-ins, the digital watchdogs for lower risk offenders. Some courts use remote monitoring apps. They check in using facial recognition or voice ID. That means they don't have to go anywhere. They could be sitting on their couch watching the football game and check in. No ankle bracelet, no daily supervision. When they're home playing with their kids and eating dinner with their family, I sit here alone. It sounds efficient, but it's also easier to manipulate. Technology can't always catch deception. And again, offenders pay the fees unless they don't. Accountability versus convenience. These devices were designed to strike a balance between two key factors, accountability and opportunity. They let offenders keep working, stay with their family, and move on, while supposedly ensuring sobriety. But when the cost gets shifted to taxpayer and enforcement becomes lax, it stops being about accountability and starts looking like convenience. A final thought for victims. If you're a victim, know this: monitoring devices aren't justice, they're maintenance. They don't bring your loved one back. They're simply tools to try and keep another family from joining our club. The one none of us ever wanted to be part of, or even ever thought of being part of. So next time you hear about an offender getting a device, remember, it's not free. It's not foolproof. And sometimes it's not even fair. But understanding gives you power. Power to ask questions, power to demand accountability, and power to make sure no one forgets who are the real victims here. I'm Sarah Raney, and this is DUI Shatters Lies. Subscribe, share, and stand with me, because awareness saves lives and silence only protects the guilty. Thank you.